All right, guys, we're just trying to get everything set up here right now. This is let me show you what we've got. This is crazy. I have to say it's tradition. It may be the last time. Maybe the last time we get to give the internet away, because right now there's a spy balloon over the United States, and it's near me. It's near me. It's in the Eastern Carolinas as we speak. I don't know what to think. It's crazy. We've got this suspenseful music going because at any moment, the military is going to shoot down this balloon, and who knows what's going to happen. Who knows what's going to happen. I'm joking a little bit. This is I got my suspenseful music. I'm actually prepared for this moment. If you want to see, I've prepared. I've made myself a tinfoil hat. Oops. Stop. Not that. I don't want that. A little Carly Rae Jepsen. Here we go. Ready? All right. Now I am safe, but you guys all are on your own. You're all on your own. I'm protected from anything that may happen as they shoot this down. I'm just going to pull up on I'm watching on flight radar first of all. Lots of fun stuff going on. Basically, no flights. They've done a ground stop on 3 airports. Just 1 second here. Come on, flight radar. Don't let me down now. 3 airports along the coast there by Wilmington. Let's see if I can take this one. I'm going to be on 6. Okay, it's going to be 6 or 7. Boom. Here we go. Okay, we've got the airport here. There's Myrtle Beach. Check this out. This is one of our military planes right there that we're watching as that flies over. Is the hat working? I need one of the foil hats. I ran out, Casey. I've got enough for me. I'm looking out for me and my own. This is a little bizarre. It's really, really crazy. If we watch the balloon where it's at right now, according to Fox, we can bring in a live stream right now here of that. Let me kill their audio here. The little speck in the middle of the screen. That's what we're worried about. This little speck. Kathy, good to have you here. We're giving away the internet, first of all. Mac, it may be the last time because we don't know what's going to happen once the military fires a rocket at this thing, which could happen anytime in the next hour. Anytime in the next hour, kabooey. The whole weather balloon thing could go south for China. I mean, well, down, not south. South's normally down. So, Mac, congratulations. You get the internet. We have regifted it yet one more time. We're the best regifters on the planet. Probably the only regifters when it comes to the internet. But, Mac, congratulations. Thanks for being here first in chat. Let me see if I can get your chat on the screen. That would be nice as well, huh? Using my computer that I normally use for something else. So that's going to be, let's see, upstream keyer 4. Come on. Wait for it. Here we go. We'll get this turned on. Bingo. On air. There we go. Okay, we don't want him. We want this. Okay, the balloon is looking for pickles, apparently. Yahoo, where is everybody? Sherry, good to have you. Cachette, as well. It is Saturday. We weren't expecting a live stream. I would recommend, if you do have foil, to make your own hat now. We can party together. And I'll tell you what I think about this balloon here in just a minute. Patty is here. Take your seat. Oh, I forgot to turn the seats on. 1 second here. So much to do, so little time. This balloon just caught me completely off guard. I was out working in the yard, in the garage a little bit. And, okay, so commands will be working here in just a moment. Let's see. Oh. Here we go. Check this out. We have an impact. We have a plane that's flown around. You see the explosion there? The balloon is now in free fall. We joined just in time. Let me see if we can get a little bit of audio on this as well.
Global risk intelligence and planning. Hal, thanks so much for being with us.
The balloon has been shot.
And walking us through this story ever since it broke. And
speaking of breaking, the balloon broke.
You said this was a distinct possibility, and it has come to fruition. It has happened. I want to put up this tweet from Fox News White House correspondent Jackie Heinrich confirmed what we all saw. U.S. missile shoots Chinese spy balloon, military traffic blocked, balloon coming straight down now. At last updated, had descended more than 20,000 feet. Your first thoughts,
So
Hal?
it's falling pretty fast.
Well, Andrew, as we talked about it, the balloon went, as we say, feet wet.
That's just awesome. That's just awesome. Okay, so what we have here is what happened for those that don't know what this balloon is. Okay, first of all, we saw this balloon. Canada saw this balloon. It went over Canada, came in through the top of Montana. We saw it then, and then we realized immediately that it was from China. Apparently, we'd been tracking it before then. We knew it was from China. We knew it was spying on us. But instead of shooting it down over the wasteland of Montana, which most of Montana is, there's just not a lot of people there. Then instead, what we did was we let it complete its entire mission, fly over the entire United States, and then and only then did we. Sorry, a little too loud. Did we shoot it down when it was over the ocean? After it was done transmitting all the pictures back to China, we shot it down. It has already been shot down. It's down. I jumped the shark just a little bit. I'm keeping my tinfoil hat on for just a moment because you never know. There might be some fallout. Love the hat. Thank you, Red Pen. Hope you're wearing yours as well. The balloon, if you watch the video here, right here, this is the moment. This is the moment that the military came in and fired and popped it. Basically, all of China's hopes for the futures went up in a puff of helium. We're going to watch this here as it comes in. Boom, there it is. Pop. I wonder, that doesn't look like a Tomahawk cruise missile to me. The debris is sort of free-falling. There's the plane that made the strike. So the top part is disconnected from the bottom. So we're going to have a debris field out in the ocean that we're going to need a couple divers to go get. We'll see. This is a tinfoil hat. This is my tinfoil hat. I do need a propeller on top, a little bit. Josh, if you share any of these screenshots, man. Oh, man. I think this is really just really blown out of proportion, quite honestly. First of all, honest opinion, the U.S. should have shot it down over Montana. We shouldn't have waited till now to shoot it down.
Dr. Chambliss,
I think
would
I
you like
just
to take off
bumped
your
something.
jacket? We can put it your.
Okay, that was something else. We should have shot it down as soon as it was over Montana. It's like, hey, you came in, we boom, blew you out of the sky, and then we'd apologize, say sorry, you flew over the country. I looked like a baked potato a little bit. I think I'm well done. It's a little warm in here too. It's a little toasty, like I've been in the oven. Might have to lose the. Am I safe? Is it safe to come out now? I'm not sure. How'd it make my hair look? A little sweaty up there on top. Yeah. Okay. I'll keep it here nearby right here, so that in case it's out of reach. Never mind. Okay. We should have shot it down as soon as it was over Montana. It was the safest area to do so. It's pretty easy to do. It's not like we don't have the ability to fly up to 60,000 feet, or even shoot a little missile up there. The risk to the ground was very small. The debris field would have been large, but at the same time, it would also have been collectible. And now in the ocean, it's a little bit harder to find because things splash down in the ocean and then they sink, and then you have to find them at the bottom of the ocean where you can't see them. And newsflash, it's hard to see through the ocean. So you were expecting bleach blonde hair. Yeah, bleach my hair under that. Justice Jane, good to have you here. I'm surprised we let it fly all the way over the country, because the government has already admitted that we knew that this was a spy plane, that it was not a weather balloon, that they were literally taking pictures, that they were monitoring, that they were sending data back. We knew that. We let it fly its entire mission, sent all its data back with its little antennas that we could see from our planes, that we were flying all around there. Because if you look at some of these flight radar planes here, you can see these guys. Right, this is where it is, basically. It's right about that area. This is a refueling plane. That was right over near there. You can look, they were cycling all over there. The actual jets themselves are not visible, but everything else, this whole area off the East Coast has been just shut down. They've grounded traffic, which is funny because I'm just off this. I'm here in eastern North Carolina, up here, and all day I've had jets flying over my house where normally I don't, because they've been diverted from the coast further to the coast where they normally are to go over my house. So I knew that something was going on earlier in the day, but that's what's happened. We've got just a few more small planes happening. Here's a little Gulfstream with NANA on it, so it's going to check out what's happening as well. But just a few military craft, and pretty much the whole coast up and down the Carolinas is bare of planes. Want to bring up the chat for you guys to see? That would be nice, huh? Give me just 1 second. I've got everything tied up here. It's right over my mouth. It looks like I'm saying your face. I'll fix that. I'll make me smaller. No, we'll leave it. So let's see. What was he's so excited he forgot. What did I forget? I forgot everything. Happy Saturday to the mods. Still China can watch any of us at any time with satellites. Johnny, the frustrating thing about this is the FAA and the government gets all over my case, and they won't let me fly my drone more than 400 feet high in the air, but they'll let China fly a balloon the size of 3 school buses 60,000 feet high, and they're just cool with it. And I think that's not fair. That's not right. What do you think they shot with that? A 300 blackout? Probably the same 300 blackout, the missing one from the court case. Send the Predator drone up there. That would have been an easy fix. I think that was probably a manned plane, though. They scrambled quite a few. They actually sent some ships off the Carolina coast down there as well, probably to help with the recovery. One of the ships has a crane capability that's able to bring stuff out of the ocean. Yeah, so it was shot down where could be a rogue birthday balloon. I was actually thinking, Cachette, that it was probably a gender reveal gone wrong, that some wealthy Chinese businessman was trying to do a gender reveal. The idea was to shoot the balloon. There would be a little puff of smoke, and congratulations, it's a boy type thing. But no, it got away, or the gun jammed or something. They weren't able to shoot it, and now here we are at an international situation, shall we say. Warships are off the coast waiting, 99 balloons. Let's see. You just made my Saturday so much better. Thank you for the burnt tater hat. I don't know how to make a proper tinfoil hat. I mean, I will admit I haven't had to make one before. I survived the Y2K thing, going from year 1999 to 2000. All the computers were supposed to shut down. The world was going to end then. Because somebody had programmed the dates wrong in all the computers. And I survived that without a hat. Where did we have this radar thing from? Where can you see this? Well, I'm not sure if it's available in the Netherlands. Marjolein. I appreciate the pronunciation guide in your name. Thank you so much for that. I'm probably still saying it wrong. Marjolein. This is Flight Radar 24, and it's an app that you can download on your iPad. There's a free version that has almost no information, and there's a version that costs like $9 a year. That's the one I went for, because that lets me actually click on a plane and say, see a picture of it, say if I want to see what this guy is. And I said, all right, this is a JetBlue Airways plane, and it's flying from Orlando up to White Plains. I can do all that, and I can actually see everything all over the United States. And this is what we used to track the plane as it flew BK across the country over to Idaho. Let's see. This is the 671 they sent, just the first to become public. I will say I have seen one of these before. Like, I'm not joking that here in North Carolina I've seen one, but I think the U.S. also launches actual weather balloons. We call them weather balloons. If one of our weather balloons flew over China, I'm sure China would say it was a spy balloon. But we do launch weather balloons regularly, and you can actually track them on this map on Flight Radar. Ours have transponders in them for safety reasons, so other planes can avoid them and air traffic can route around them. But I have seen one in the sky, and it's pretty fun. I did not see this one. I did look. You guys texted me on the burner phone. I was checking everywhere, but it was a little too far south as I dropped the burner phone once again, and didn't break it because I don't break the burner phone. Okay, let's see. Trial starts next week. That's the Aiden one. Okay, let's hope everyone is safe. Navy, I think they will be. They really cleared this out. They put a warning out to people out at sea and said basically, hey, try to clear the area because we're going to be, having an exercise, military exercise. Think about the Tin Man from Oz. Let's see. When you're addicted to Mayo line. Let's see. Cause Thal and I are collaborating on foil hats and clothing. We discussed it yesterday. He's going to model. Tish, that'll be great. The way I built mine, actually. Let me see if I can reach it. Hang on 1 second. It was a bit of a stretch. I think I pulled a muscle. The way I built my hat, I actually used a band type method where I folded it over along the inside. And I fold it over, and then you wrap it around your head. You put it on like a headband, but instead of tying it in back, you just sort of gather all the excess, and then you smooth the front over. It does give you a very a close-fitting hat, but I believe it still offers all the protection of the other models that have more elaborate folding designs, as well as the one that has the propeller. So I think as far as tinfoil hats go, it's fully functional. Y2K was a hoax. This is real. The balloon was real. It was. I will say, unfortunately, we probably will not hear many details about what was on that balloon. The U.S. might recover every screw, every panel, every wire, every lens, every camera, every bit of hardware, every battery that was on that. But it was not going to be in the news. Once the military has something that they've captured like that, we'll have just a brief little bit of information to basically say, hey, no one's in danger. We got it all. It's fine. And it's all going to be handled in back channels. Flight Radar 24 is a favorite app on my phone. Got the gold status because I love planes. Gold status gives you a bit more information. It also lets you track planes like a year ago, like to see what happened a year ago with that plane. You are welcome. Glad to help. Let's see. I'm curious if any of you saw the balloon as it crossed over the United States. Uno reverse. It's not a weather balloon. It's an alien spaceship. Ooh, Douglas. I need to put the hat on again before I read that one. I was thinking some crashed in your house. Airspace closure extended. They did. They extended it for this effort, which the balloon has been shot down. Basically, there's going to be some debris falling for a while. I think they're going to want to recover both parts of the balloon, both the for lack of a better word, the sack that contains the gas. They're going to check that because they want to see what was in it. They want to see how they built the balloon, okay, to keep it to fly that long and do that well and not leak and everything. That balloon technology, that's important too. It's not just the electronics that are hanging underneath it, but we also want to know, what frequencies their transmitters were using, how they, where they were oriented, where they were pointed, how they're listening, what they were taking pictures of, if there's any stored data on there. I mean, they're like a smart card and they can pull out and be like, here are all the pictures right here. Chips, not chunks, aliens, aircraft. I believe you. They are out there. You guys are totally doing it. It could be a weather balloon that Weather Watch sent up. I thought so. I don't want to out him, but I happen to know he might be on a ski trip right now. So I know he's busy, and he wasn't doing much with the weather other than enjoying the white stuff that the weather had laid down for him. And happy Saturday to you. It needs a foil pom-pom. How would I make a foil pom-pom? That would be nifty. Y'all over making jokes, but I have a real tinfoil hat. It's a beanie with silver lining, blocks out all the EMFs. Johnny, you are so far ahead of us. We're complete amateurs in this area. Replayed a little video with the balloon going bye-bye. Let me pull it up here. I think that was channel 2. Just 1 second here. Let me back it up. Okay, here we go. Trying to back up to the right spot. Just 1 second. Okay. Here's a little video of the balloon going bye-bye. And you can't see the missile as it flies in. I'm going to remove your text here so we can watch. This is from the Fox feed. There it was, just poof. It was like somebody just threw a dart. And you can see a little bit of, if you look closely there at the bottom, you can see as it's going off the screen. Here, I'll rewind just 1 minute. Let's try that again. Oh, if you watch on the bottom, you can see a little bit of debris falling, and that's probably the payload as it sort of rips free of the canopy. So watch here, and then just a little puff. I did want to know what missile it was they used to shoot this down. Just gone. It's like it just cut the strings out from underneath the balloon. Not a big ball of fire. It was pretty small. Not sure if they fired like a dummy missile through it or something, and it just popped it, or what. But they definitely did cut the payload from the rest of the balloon. And now the part that you see falling, the payload's already off the screen. The part that you see falling is just mostly just the balloon and probably a harness and wires and things like that. But all the solar panels, the arrays and everything, they're plummeting to the ground and probably impacted a long time ago. The balloon itself might take a while to land. It reminds me of the Jiffy Pop popcorn you shake on the stove. A sweaty head, though. It did get a little warm. That's $10 worth of aluminum foil. Save it for the next one. As long as it's reusable. I think it is. It doesn't like store any of the energy waves. I want to believe, says AJ. I want to believe too. That was the replay, Red Pen. That was all there was. Just this little video of it just falling out of the sky, and it's offshore. We had to shoot it off. We had to wait first of all until it got over the Atlantic Ocean. But as soon as it got over the Atlantic Ocean, we had a very narrow window. There's only like 12 miles of U.S. coast water, of U.S. waters before it becomes international waters. So we just have this little strip of water that's like sort of still ours, and we had to land it in there. Otherwise, there'd be all these other boats that wanted a piece of it. So they just had to wait till it was just over the right spot, and then boom, they got it. Anyway, that was the shoot down. I was being so good doing homework. You were almost more fun, Tish. Hopefully get some homework done here this evening. But no, you didn't see it. I was just going to see if anyone else did. They said all flights grounded in the area until 5:15, right? Because they're going to be flying some aircraft, probably some helicopters on some of the military vessels that are out there in the water. Will be scouting for pieces and stuff, and they'll be using some cranes and things like that to scoop stuff up. It was shot down over the Atlantic Ocean. Gas sack, yeah, that's pretty much was. America, go, doot, doot, doot. Yep. No more TikTok spy balloon. Yeah. That somebody's TikTok live just took a dive into the ocean. They fill a balloon with virus next time. This is scary, actually. Johnny, yes, this is scary. The fact that we didn't know what the payload was. We sent planes up. If you watched over the last 48 hours from when the military officially, it became public that we knew about it. And it was basically when the public started saying, hey, what's that thing in the sky? That's when they said, oh, let me tell you. Hopefully they knew before then. But we've seen planes up there circling it, trying to observe it and trying to figure out what it is. I think they did figure out because they do have the technology. I mean, think how we watch live police chases, right? The military has better equipment than that with cameras, and they can monitor other aircraft very easily that way. So they sent planes up and did some circles and were spying on it and basically said, we think we know what it is. And from that, they probably determined that this particular one was safe from jettison payload type issues. But the next one might not be. He told you he was skiing, but he might be out spying. We'll have to ask him when he comes back. I've got a call into him. Well, we'll be calling as soon as he gets back. Johnny Law, they have said it had been used to deploy EMP devices. It looked to me like this one was mostly solar arrays and antennas, and probably had a center payload of cameras, is what I'm guessing. Probably some radio reception as well. But I'm guessing most of this was for high resolution ground imagery, because 60,000 feet is not very high up when you think about it. The satellites that they get images from right now are much higher, and the resolution would be lower than this. So they sent this over, and it had pretty good weather too. I'm not sure if they timed it that way, but they sent it over to have pretty good, very little cloud cover. as it flew over. Someone, wherever news I was watching, said since this was close to a lot of military bases, it was safest to shoot down over the Atlantic. It did go over Montana, where we have a nuclear station, I guess you could say, a missile silo. Murdoch finally has an alibi for a shooting. Where was it shot down at? This is just off Myrtle Beach in South Carolina, Laura. Probably about a few miles off the coast, probably 10 miles off or so. America did kick it. May it be self-destructed. Josh sent pictures on the burner phone. Let me take a look. Josh, you've been keeping me up to date on this as well. Oh, man. I was thinking it was going to be pictures of the balloon, but no, they're pictures of me wearing a tinfoil hat. So I'm guessing those are going to go viral somewhere. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate that. Payload sounds like something wonderful. Yeah, it sounds good because it sounds close to payday, but usually it's not. Usually it's a bad delivery. I was wondering if they didn't want to shoot it down over the land because they didn't know what it was carrying, like a nuke. Yeah, but that's got to be like the weirdest plan ever, because if China wanted us to shoot it down and have a bomb on it or something, they would have known. We would have waited to find a very unpopulated area, sparse area, lots of open area, the least threat possible to shoot it down, so it would have the least impact possible. So it's not a very effective method of doing that. People on the beach right now are watching out there on the on the ocean, hoping for some pieces that might wash ashore, I guess.
Defense military side, there is a
just
thing
listening
that's been,
here.
in the movies, the rescue swimmers that they have with the Coast Guard.
Yeah, they're just speculating right now. I can tell you that there's not going to send rescue swimmers out there to grab those pieces out of the ocean because they don't know if there's something radioactive on there. That would probably be my worst fear about that payload, because radioactive material is a very good battery as far as battery life goes, but it's not very safe. Well, of course, they didn't want it around people. It was up in the sky. So my apartment in Wright in the takeoff landing for helicopters to RDU Airport. It's been quiet from air traffic today. May have ceased air traffic here as well. Yeah, it did fly over western North Carolina just a little bit before it sort of took a dive down into South Carolina. Now the ocean is filled with egg rolls. Egg rolls and the Chinese fortune cookies. You think they use the guns? Thank you. The funny thing is, you watch on Twitter, and the government comes out and is like, "Don't shoot it. Don't shoot at it." Okay, like don't aim up the sky and shoot. And every single redneck in America is like, "Hold my beer. I'll get this. I'll get this thing down." I don't know how many people might have shot at that thing as it crossed over the country. Breaking news: it was shot down, and she finally let me come watch. That's awesome, Little Miss. Has anyone heard there's a second balloon spotted? Yes, there is a second balloon mutt, and it's down, I believe, in Latin America. China was saying it's a civilian balloon. The U.S. has already said that's not the case. You can see that from the tweet from Jackie Heinrich here. U.S. missile shoots Chinese spy balloon. Military traffic blocked. Balloon coming straight down now. As last updated, had descended more than 20,000 feet. They confirmed that this was a military, It was not a civilian balloon monitoring air temperatures at a high altitude. This is not a weather balloon. An incursion into American airspace is still an incursion. It makes me wonder how the U.S. is going to respond now that it's such a public event. The people will want some kind of reparations. I think that a country that doesn't defend its borders doesn't really have borders. And I'm not trying to get political about that, but I'm talking about airspace specifically. The borders that we control for a reason. It's over our land. We're trying to keep people safe. And if we don't control those, if we don't enforce the rules over our skies, are there any rules? Love Lara CP, welcome to the gallery. Good to have you as a member. I appreciate it. Did I use the non-stick foil? I sprayed my head with Pam before I put it on. Does that count? Okay. I figure I'd apply it directly to the hair. It was a lot of fun, for sure. Can I use the excuse my midterm blew up with the balloon? I think all of us can have some sort of excuse with that. My internet went out because of the balloon, anything. Can we see the replay? Let me pull it up one more time, Lil Miss. Trying to find a good feed of just the balloon in the sky. Hold tight here. Okay, here we go. So this is it, floating in the sky. It's about to get popped. And it looks like the string, it sort of gets hit on the bottom of the balloon where the payload is, just from the way it sort of twists. We're going to get shot here in just a second. Right there. And then the payload drops. You can see it falling. It's a little tiny dot on the screen. It's falling free of the canopy itself. I think it would have been better had the canopy stayed attached to the payload, but it might not have survived that way. How long had it been in the air? It flew basically 48 hours over the U.S. at least. It started over on the north end of Montana, the Canadian border, and this sort of followed the upper airstreams that sort of drifted down across the country and down across the. It was over Tennessee. It went North Carolina, South Carolina. I didn't see it last night. Was hoping my government had a job. It's been in the air for at least a week, in the United States for at least 3 days. Yeah, that guy, I don't know if they launched this from the ocean, like international waters or what. It seems to be a very imprecise method of spying if you launch it from China and wait for it to blow over the U.S. Although if that is the method, that does concern me, because basically all of China's pollution means it's following that same path in the airstream. I ended an online whiskey party last night. Virtual whiskey leaves a real headache. Who knew? I heard a guy in Rumble talk about this coming months ago. The U.S. weather balloons are smaller. I was going to have to research. I'll have to look at that. It's a balloon, most likely just gathering radio signals or triangulating positions of things on the ground. It's a recon, not a weapon. A weapon would have been suicidal for China. Thal, I agree. There's no way that was not like a rocket launcher that could aim and hit something. But it was shot down just about 20 minutes ago, 15, 20 minutes ago. Yep. I read that it was too low to be used to deploy an EMP. 60,000 feet? I don't know. I'll have to study up on my EMPs. Are you saying I didn't need the tinfoil hat? I'm still waiting for Tim Pool to say it's the start of World War III. Let's see. Wait a minute. Why aren't we considering the obvious? What if it was airdropping pickles? Why does it always have to be malicious internet? Hey, Thal, I will say this because you brought it up, and it's completely unrelated to your comment, other than you said pickles, and you got me on this tangent. I went to the store last night with the intent of finding Famous Dave's pickles that are flavored the same as the spicy maple bourbon pickles that I get at Walmart. And I went to Food Lion, which is another grocery store chain in my area. And I searched and searched, and I found another jar of spicy maple bourbon pickles, not made by Walmart Sam Choice, but made by some other company. It's like Traditions or something, or Inspiration, or some strange name like that, a company I've never heard of. I think it's another knockoff brand from Food Lion. But the jar is the same. The lid is the same. The indentations and the bumps on the lid are the same. The printing for the date is the same. The stamp for the factory where it was produced is the same. Everything is the same. I'm getting the same pickles that Food Lion sells, which means that Walmart is not the only supplier of these pickles. And they are exactly identical. I have 2 jars, one of each from each store, chilling in the fridge. I'm going to do a blind test, and I bet I will not be able to tell them apart. I'm shocked it made it through Western North Carolina. It probably got shot at quite a bit as it went over there, Mountain Mama. To everyone, the comments, LOL, the comments, wish YouTube had a feature like the comments. I'm laughing so hard. I was shocked some Montana Cowboys didn't shoot it down. You know Johnny Law, the problem was I am positive people shot at this thing. There's not a doubt in my mind. I would bet my money on it, all my money. Both quarters, I would bet that somebody tried to shoot this down. The problem is it was 60,000 feet up, which is higher than airliners by about 20,000 feet, And so there's no chance a little rifle, which has just a couple miles of reach, would be able to reach that. Hopefully someone in chat knows how to screenshot RA in a foil hat. Please post in Facebook. Thanks, Samantha. Josh, I think, has got you covered on that one. I just heard, was it shot down? Yes, it was. I'm on the coast of North Carolina. Tracy, this was shot down just off South Carolina's Myrtle Beach. Just happened just a little bit ago. I think there's still some airspace. Josh is still texting pictures of me wearing a tinfoil hat. He's still texting pictures around. There's still ships out there. The military's probably still got it closed off for airspace. The actual closure. Let me see if I can pull this up here. The airspace closure. Now we've got to switch to this one. Just 1 minute. We'll pull it up. Search China spy balloon. Search. Okay, I'm going to try. Let me see if I can bring this up on my screen. If I turn it this way, maybe. Nope. I have to switch over here. I'll let you watch Twitter with me here. I'm going to rewind here. This was from the ground. This was right after it was fired. Got a couple planes up there circling. And it falls slowly. Let's see what else we have here on the feed. Looking for the map so I can show you the TFR. There we go. All right, so here's the map that brings up the temporary flight restriction. The three dots you see at the top, that's Wilmington. There at the top, those are the different airports. The red box was the box that they said you can't fly in. All the planes were prohibited from flying in those areas. The rest of these little windows have restrictions for other reasons at different altitudes, but this red box was the no-go zone where the military was flying around. It sort of ended just up on Wilmington like that. So that's the area where this was grounded, or where they landed this one. But I think that's probably the best one. Let's see. Not sure. These are all videos of just the planes that were circling it throughout. Oh, here's a good one. What Chinese spy balloon sees while traveling through America? I think this was over Missouri. It took this picture. People throwing beer bottles at it. But we all know the government would never lie to us. Of course, they would never do that. I read this balloon was steerable somehow. I don't think it was. From the pictures I saw, it looked like it didn't have any sort of propulsion system. My son is an avid hunter with many guns. He would have taken a crack at knocking it down. Welcome to our community, new member. There are no rules here. I lubed my head with Pam. Yes, I'm catching up on the chat here. Sorry. Make a foil bucket hat and you'll be on trend for spring 2023. This is the best I've got. This is unfortunately it's sort of molded to my head and my head alone, which I'm not sure what the hat size is as far as the brim, but it's actually fairly comfortable. And aside from like the lightning risks, I think it is pretty effective at its job. Let's see. DoorDash is now a nationwide via balloon. Yeah, how many Amazon packages does this thing deliver? Somewhere in China, a kid just failed his science project. He had like 4 more miles to go, and then they could recover it over there in the international waters. But at least China has helium. Big shortage of it in the U.S. Hard to get for birthday balloons. Really? I didn't know that, Mo Freedom. Maybe we need to switch to hydrogen. I can teach you how to make that for your balloons. It's not quite as safe, but it's more fun to pop them. Let's see. Do you think the U.S. should retaliate with thousands of party balloons? The problem is our party balloons would come from China. So anything we try to retaliate like that nature would actually benefit them when we buy them from them in the first place. When you say international waters, what does that mean? Twisted Branches, we have about 12 nautical miles of water, of coastline, that is our waters, that is the United States sort of property. it's not just, you think of how close another country can come to another country without being like, hey, you're too close to the line. Well, that line is 12 miles offshore. And we wanted to have it land within those 12 miles. Do you have any opinion as to why China decided to launch these balloons? I believe China is trying to gather data any way they can. Everything from TikTok to weather balloons and spy satellites. I think they use every possible method, and they're very, very good at it. They basically throw everything at the wall to see what sticks. I can tell you from a security standpoint that that attacks are that same nature on computers. That nations like China will send attacks just throwing everything they can at something, trying to find a hole. So they could launch a whole bunch of balloons to get one that gets a picture they want. It's been so funny. Yeah, that was not Balloon Boy. That takes us back a few years, right? If you guys remember that story. I mean, technically it was in Alaska first. Why didn't we take it out when it was over Alaska? I mean, talk about low risk. Some Chinese adventure was inside. I don't think so. 60,000 feet for that many days, that's risky. Tracy, where on the coast in North Carolina? I'm not far. I'm not far from Greenville, in North Carolina. It was actually in South Carolina, just off Myrtle Beach. I think they had some military ships up near Hatteras Island that went out there as well. That cruised down there to get something. You finally bit the bullet. I feel like somebody now. Laura, it's good to have you here. Why do I feel like I'm watching the Challenger with you? My husband was like, why haven't we shot it down? Miss Chris, I'm in the same boat. Why did we do that a long time ago? U.S. retaliated against China with millions of Hello Kitty balloons just to mock them. Gender reveal. It was gender reveal balloon. I just saw that on your thumbnail. I put that on there because you've seen the gender reveal where somebody did that. They have like this helium balloon and it's got like powder inside, and it's like the redneck gender reveal. It's like all you have to do is shoot the balloon, and the guy's so nervous he misses, and then the balloon's like out of range, and they're like, now we'll never know. Well, you will find out eventually, but it's pretty funny. Let's see. Helium reserves will run out on Earth by 2060, supposedly. What will we do for our parties then, Thal? The balloon might also have had an altimeter sensor, so if it started to go down, it might have self-destructed, which would have been another hazard to the public. I thought about that, Thal, thinking if it had like a self-destruct, like burn the evidence type thing. I wonder if we used any type of electronic attack on it to try to foil it from doing anything else when we shot it down. Every day is exciting here in chat. Thanks for the bonus coverage. You're welcome, Michelle. It's a short one. But new merch, tinfoil hats. They're cheap. They're really cheap. They don't mail very well, though. Let's see. It was filled with egg rolls. Thal, didn't we just find a huge reserve of it somewhere? Where do we get helium? Is it from underground? I mean, I imagine, it's got to be underground because in the air it would go up. Nerve agents, that would be a concern for sure. I saw it had a message on the balloon. Says Robert. It said, don't shoot. Weather balloon, don't shoot, is what it said on it. Shook the houses here at the beach. It was wild. You heard the explosion, Kick? That would be cool. I didn't know you could hear the explosion. So it was in Alaska first. We heard reports of it being in Montana near Canadian border. So why didn't Canada shoot it down? Had to travel across their skies too. I don't know what parts of Canada it crossed over, but probably it was like, hey, you didn't see anything. You saw some moose. That was it. Just a few moose and maybe JB. Yeah, if nobody had seen this, would have been a different story. You saw the President Biden was in a press conference the other day, and somebody's like, "Hey, what are you going to do about this Chinese spy balloon?" And he turns around from the podium, and walks away, just like no answer. But he did issue the order, give the go ahead earlier today to say we're gonna shoot it down. You can't make silicon microchips without helium. An OODA loop. This is not the first time China has launched balloons over the U.S., according to Forbes. AWACS and certain U.S. SAM sites can do that with their radars and jammers too. They could have suppressed or flat out burned out the electronics. Yeah, it's like a little directional EMP, right? They fry it, and then hopefully they're able to reverse engineer the components, even though they're not functioning when they capture them. Yeah, we'll just use politicians' hot air to fill our balloons. Bye-bye TikTok. KXR says, kind of like really loud thunder. I imagine it was like do you know what a bird bomb is? Where they basically shoot an M80 firecracker out of a shotgun. So it's a shotgun shell that then travels a ways and then it explodes. It's like a flashbang fired from a shotgun. I imagine that's what they did from a jet. I know they did have like a Harrier jump jet in the area that someone had spotted as well. Georgia, you're pointing out my ignorance. Hit the like button. Pulpit. It's like the little thing, the lectern. Isn't that what it's called? It's a pulpit. It's like he's preaching at us. The preacher gets up and he talks from the pulpit. Was it anywhere near Moselle Road? Lots of things got shot down in that area. Great question. This was in Myrtle Beach. Yeah, EMP. You're right, Born Hawkeye. You said it first. He ordered the shoot down on a Wednesday. Pentagon wanted to wait till safe. Right. His advisors told him not to shoot it down over land because of the risk and the debris field. Helium on Earth, it's relatively rare. It results from the decay of uranium, can't be artificially created, and it's produced as a byproduct of natural gas refinement. Now I'm smarter. 6-volt bus. And because you said it, I know it's true. Just ordered some Chinese food. The delivery trackers just disappeared. Anyone know anything? Just disappeared. Yeah, unfortunately, that guy, your food got wet. That's what we know. Well, the U.S. doesn't need to reverse engineer China stuff. China is like the great value of weapons and equipment for the world. The U.S. and Russia are more like brand names. It would be interesting to see what they're looking at, though. You know, what frequency of antennas they're using, what they're listening for, because that tells us what they think they should listen to for us. Good afternoon from sunny Arizona, 73 and beautiful. I'll head back to frozen tundra, Minnesota on Monday. Just a quick trip. Love your content. Missy Pants, enjoy Arizona. Sounds fantastic. I think it's a balmy 40 degrees here where I am right now. So I'm a bit jealous. Yeah, reduce your tip, that guy. The food's going to be cold and wet by the time you get it. A little salty. Yes, French fry. Military jets all over up and down the coast because of this. Just keeping people. They're patrolling for a couple of reasons. First, they've got some jets they're refueling. They're doing airborne refueling. So those are like the C-130Rs or something like that they can refuel a lot of those jets in the air so they can keep the fighter jets up without having them land. But they're also trying to keep people out to make sure no one else is trying to mess with the balloon. China did make some kind of artificial sun reactor. Our balloon will so panic amongst the degenerates in the U.S. Ooh, look, target practice, everybody. Yep. I don't know, the driver works really hard from what I've seen. Tip 22%, not 25%. All right, so this was fun. It was fun to follow. The balloon, getting shot down out of the sky and falling. Government's going to gather up what they can, fish it out of the water, and try to haul it back to a warehouse somewhere and inspect it and see what it is. But it's gone. We're safe now. You can take off your tinfoil hat. I'd save it because they're good for other things, I imagine. Took me 2 tries to make that, I will say. My first one didn't quite fit. I for some reason I underestimated the circumference of my head. by about 2 inches. And so I had this a little open patch in back. And I thought that wouldn't be safe because of what if the rays came from behind? I'd need to have the full wrap. So I made a little larger one. Sky News announced U.S. shoots down Chinese balloons. Yep, we got them. Living in the lake in Ozarks after 9/11. Whiteman Air Force Base was constantly doing maneuvers over our house. Hasn't splashed down yet. Carl, the payload probably splashed down within about a minute or two. Let's see, how long does it take to fall 60,000 feet with very little resistance? We can do the math on that. It's probably a couple minutes of free fall there. And then the balloon itself is probably down as well by now, because it's or here soon. Thanks for the humor hour. Yeah, it's fun. Let's see. I think we're going to start to get some flights back off the ground. They extended it till 3:30. So I think just now they've stopped to the ground stop there on Myrtle Beach. Just checking. Yeah, let me show you what we've got on the map here. It looks like we've got a few more planes up. This one's a private owner, but at least it has a flight path. It shows where it's going out of Myrtle Beach. This one's Charleston. Little Cessna, might be military as well. I'm not sure. There's a helicopter. What's this guy doing? Eurocopter? That's a Coast Guard, U.S. Coast Guard. Okay, so he's still buzzing around. But yeah, it looks like stuff's starting to return to normal. Still doing some refuelers up there. You can see this plane over here on the back, on the tail end right above me. That little tiny wing that hangs off the back is actually like a tailpipe that they can lower down, that they extend out. It's a boom they extend out, and that's what they connect with basically next to the nose of the fighter jets, so they can refuel them. At terminal velocity, landing in the water, there's probably not much left, I would imagine. Thal, I think because they're like solar panels and flat, you've got a lot of wind resistance and tumbling, so I think it probably did break up a lot, but I bet they'll be able to get some pieces, enough to figure out what it was. U.S. press release about shooting down the balloon. There was no balloon. This is not the balloon you're looking for. This is why aliens do not visit Earth. We have a shoot first policy. Yeah, I need to cover the whole head, everything. I might have to do like a lower wrap, like a top wrap and then a lower wrap that's like more of a face mask. Might get a little sweaty. Maybe I'll punch some holes for breathing. Laura, they just shot the one. The other one's over like Latin America. I'm not sure exactly where, but I'm curious. How do we cover the pieces? Carl, we're going to fish them out of the ocean. They've got cranes that can go down and scoop things up. We're going to watch where they are and send some equipment down to detect it, and we go fishing. Yep. So now's a good time to go deep sea fishing off the coast of South Carolina, maybe Myrtle Beach area. You may catch much more than your limit. And imagine if you get something good. Let's see what's happening here.
On Wednesday, as soon as possible, they decided, without doing damage to anyone on the ground, they decided that the best time to do that was as it got over water outside within 12-mile limit. They successfully took it down, and I want to compliment our aviators who did it, and we'll have more to report on this a little later. Thank you.
Mr. President, what did you say about China? What's the message to China?
You were saying the recommendation was from your national security.
I told them to shoot it down.
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
But the recommendation
They said to me, let's wait till the safest place to do it.
What does this mean for China, relations with China?
All right. So that's remarks from the president as he was just
Okay, Hal.
transferring from the plane to the beast. We need a meme of the leader of China's face on a Balloon Boy poster. Thank you, Belinda. Appreciate it. What was the stream of smoke going by right after the balloon was shot down? The missile. Teresa, what that was, I believe, is probably the pieces of the missile, because the balloon itself is very thin. There's not much to stop a missile. It's not like going through a brick wall or hitting a steel door or something. You're talking about something that probably weighs a few hundred pounds at most. And if they go through the balloon portion, They're basically just timing the explosion because the missile can barely detect it touched anything, especially at the speed it's flying. So as it goes through and it's calculated to explode at a certain point, it explodes, but those pieces probably still fly forward. And so you see that puff of smoke as it continues to the right of the balloon that way. But it just tore through that balloon. Do you have a balloon tracker website? There's another out there somewhere. This particular balloon, unlike our weather balloons, did not have a transponder. Most drones nowadays, the big drones, as well as airplanes, are required to have a transponder in them so that they can be picked up on flight radar, things like that. They would show up as they send out the beacon of their location. China did not include one. Very inconsiderate of them with their spy balloon to not tell us exactly where it was, which made people have to go out and hunt for it in the sky on their own, which we did successfully. Train derailed in Ohio, Miss Anonymous. That's no good. It was a passenger train or a freight train. They're typically freight trains that derail. Passenger, I think, would have made the big news right now. The other two balloons are headed this way. If there are two more balloons headed here, I would be embarrassed if the country waited until they crossed the entire United States before they shot them down again. I think this is it was a mistake to let it get this far. Military guy on Fox says 3 info collectors, each the size of a Mack truck. From the pictures I saw, I think they had solar arrays, which would mean that it's probably battery power, and some antenna as well. But do we send a balloon back now, like with a cute note? Probably not. We probably won't give them anything back. I need a Faraday hat. Douglas, I'm not even sure how to build a Faraday hat. I know you can get some mesh. It's like some copper mesh. Maybe that will work. Is that what you're talking about? If you make me get on the internet and start Googling tinfoil hats, so help me, it will ruin my browser experience forever, because from then on, I'll be getting ads from who knows what. They're like, oh, Google will be like, oh, we've seen your search history. You're interested in the zombie apocalypse and everything else. Let's see. Missiles can do IR, but whatever. Yeah, I think we know that our military men on the ground have basically rocket launchers where you can program the rocket to explode at a specific point, a specific destination. So you get imagine there's like a 3-foot tall wall and the enemies are hiding on the other side. It might be like a 6-foot thick steel wall, right? The enemies are hiding on the other side. So if you hit that wall on one side with a little rocket, it's not going to do any damage on the backside. Well, we have rocket launchers that have capability where you can say, okay, I'd like for the missile to fly just over this wall. So you target it and say, I'd like to go just beyond the wall, and 6 feet beyond this target, I want you to explode in the air. And so we'll fly just over and explode and get everything on the backside of the wall. I imagine it was that sort of device with a programmed detonation point that did that. Holly says I go through recovery active withdrawals on the weekends. Hey, Holly, let me tell you, I'm not sure if she's here, but Amber Vixen has been working overtime. I don't think she slept at all last night, and she has dug up some documents on the Murdoch case that she says, I found the smoking gun. There's all sorts of stuff that we're going to talk about. She's putting things together in a timeline. There's a ton more information that is, she's given me just a skim off the surface of some of these documents, and I am so excited to be able to share it. It'll probably be Monday when we do. But there's a whole bunch more documents. There's a whole bunch more information. There's private investigators involved that we're tracking that goes all the way back from before the boat accident. There's all sorts of things about heirs of the estate and how things were changed from the way they had been into Mr. Murdaugh's name before this murder and things like that. That really goes to motive a little bit. So we'll talk about that next week. Thal says if it was a missile uses radar, then it would probably a proximity sensor on the missile. It won't hit the balloon. They explode so many feet away from the target, throwing shrapnel. And that's probably the blast we saw, the smoke that continued just beyond the balloon as it shot through it and shredded the balloon. First shot. ADS-B. That's the transponder, right? Whenever the government tells me something, I just assume they are lying. It's on the news. There's a massive fire. Miss Anonymous, that's no good. Let me. I'm torn between watching people walk on the beach in Myrtle Beach, watching for ships driving by, and looking for this train wreck. So give me just 1 second. I want to see the train wreck. I'll pull it up on my phone here. Give me just 1 second. Train derailment, Ohio. Okay, let's pull this up. I'll rewind it just a second. Where are we on? 6. Okay, here we go. That's the smoke. Okay, we're going to let this play through one more time. You can see the fire up ahead from the train derailment and just all throughout the sky. Okay, so that's a big train wreck. Let's scroll through and see what we can find on TikTok here real quick. Aerial photos here as well. Oh, man. That is bad. That's just a whole stack of train cars. Does look like box cars, so it looks like a freight train, not a passenger train. Usually they don't mix those two. Usually don't have passenger cars mixed in with freight cars. Not sure what would cause the derailment. Maybe a balloon dropped too soon. China knows where it landed. Yes. Stay indoors at Myrtle Beach. CNN still hasn't broken news of the train wreck. Still obsessed about the balloon. It's a big news day. They'll have this to play tomorrow. Someone's going to think the balloon did this. Yep. I don't know, Wisconsin, if there was any injuries on this one. If it was a collision, sadly, you probably got a few people in the front of the train that could be injured. But no, there would be no passengers on this train. You can see the doors of the box cars. These are trains that move goods, probably some oil or some sort of petroleum type. Man, that's pretty rough. Used to work derailment, so we could clean that up and have a track reset in about 2 days. You'd like send equipment on the tracks down to it, right? You just like rebuild as you go. We don't have normal clouds. We make our own in Ohio. Yeah. Who put a balloon on the tracks? Frost heave? Do you think frost heave did it, Electrodog? You think the cold weather caused the ground to shift enough to derail a train? Because a lot of those tracks are capable of... let's see what else we have as we scroll through the Twitter feed. I'll give credit where it's due. That one's from Ian Smith. Ian is, who's Ian with? KDKA, chief photographer there, probably in a helicopter. Was this morning when it happened? Yeah, that looks like that was an oil fire if I've ever seen one. See, train derailment sparks massive explosion in East Palestine, Ohio. Emergency crews responded to reports of a tanker train derailment into a structure. There are emerging reports of several injuries. More information as it becomes available. Raw News Alerts has a couple of videos as well. Oh, wow. Look at that image. Now, this is a little overexposed. This is a camera technique. You can tell that to get this exposure, to get this picture, what you do is you would have a stationary camera where you open the lens or open the iris to accept light over a period of time. And the clouds are moving slowly, the fire's moving slowly, so it's not very blurry, but it allows a lot of light in. So anywhere there's a light point, it becomes very bright. That's why you see up on the horizon, like up here, right over, right there, right. That's like a city up there. And so the lights from that are just glowing bright. So this is a sort of like a long exposure photograph that did that. Anyway, hope everyone's okay up there. Is this going to trigger inflation more? Probably not. The train, although it does carry a lot of goods, is not that much. It doesn't put a dent on it. Someone put a penny on the track. Dang it, guys. You keep doing that. We move in with escalators and side booms that are like tractors with a crane type thing sticking out the side, and about 40 workers. You work 48 hours straight. Pays really good. I can imagine. That's awesome. How do I get that job? Because that would be fun, just for a weekend or so. I wish I was at the beach. The whales are okay. Pennywise put a balloon on the tracks. What a way to start the morning. Generally, the pay when you're doing cleanup is really good. Disaster cleanup, whether it's a train derailment or after a hurricane when the power lines go down. Holy cow! Those guys that work on those electric lines, they get paid a fortune, and their paycheck, their clock starts when they hop in their truck to start driving to that state, and it just goes until they get back, and it's like nonstop pay, pay, double pay, time and a half, per diem, you name it. It just racks up really good money really fast. It's dangerous work, and they're not slacking on the job. Gene, it's good to be here. Glad we could bring a little bit back on a Saturday as well. Q price hikes in consumer goods. Could be cars. A lot of times cars are carried on trains like that. But the amount of oil that would be in a train is actually pretty small compared to how much we pipe through on railways and stuff, or on pipelines. We did a flood, and I spent 45 days on the job site. Took home right under $20K with overtime. Thal, no, that's serious. That is really good money on the take-home side. 45 days, $20K. Sign me up, right? Of course, you're living in a tent or something, and you're eating out of a box, and you're showering on a portable site or something. It's a mess, but let's see. Make sure we answer all the questions here. No, you wouldn't even want to attempt it. The physical work alone could kill you, not to mention being killed by pulling cars, moving debris, heavy machinery run you over, etc. It's sort of like working in the oil field, I imagine. Probably a similar danger level. Tower climber, $120,000 for 4 days of... Wow. I could not... I've seen the guys that climb those towers, those massive tall radio towers to change the bulb up at the top. I could not do it. If I'm getting up to the cloud level and there's just like a little ladder underneath me, I would be, my hands would, you could not pry them loose from that pipe. I would not be able to climb down because I could not let go. I don't do heights very well. Can you put up the picture of the weather balloon that I sent you and blow it up and zoom in? Josh, let me pull that up just 1 second. It was on the burner phone. Okay. The weather balloon or the pictures of me that you sent? Let's see. Okay, here we go. This is Josh's picture on the weather balloon. This is a great image, actually. Let's see if we can turn it sideways. Make it a little bigger. I'm going to take your comment off here, Josh. Thank you, by the way, for this image. You look at this, there's no way you're going to tell me that was just some civilian who put together a tower or put together a balloon to study the atmosphere. So that looks like some pretty complicated equipment right there. You definitely got, looks like some sort of satellite or a microwave beam dish there, antenna structure, payload on 2 arms that extend out there. I think you've got solar on there as well to recharge because it had a long life, and the battery itself would probably wear down pretty quickly. But I think that's a lot of listening equipment and probably some spying equipment. Yeah, that's no civilian balloon for sure. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate that. Mrs. R.A. just stole my phone. It's gone. So the burner phone is gone. How's Amber not part of this investigation team? I've never looked so forward to a Monday except the holiday. Amber did so much work. I'm so excited on this one. She texted me. I think she texted me around midnight. And she's like, look, I realize you're asleep, but I just have to tell you what I found. And I'm so excited. I tried to call her back today, and she had just crashed. She's just exhausted. So as soon as she gets up after her daytime snooze, she'll probably go right back to work at this, and she does a great job. At Holchers, the contractor I used to work for, we had 1 death every year to accident job site mess up. Worst year, we had 24 deaths. Holy cow, Thal. How does OSHA let you keep operating? I worked in a steel mill plant for a while, where we had a guy lose the tip of a finger, and OSHA was all over us like ants on chicken. It was just, we couldn't do anything at all without their approval. And the guy just lost, a tip of a finger. It was his own fault. He was stupid. But okay, where are we? What are we looking at? Well, we were watching the balloon. It has been shot down. That was an excellent image. I wonder who took that. Are you in timeout now? No, she just took my phone. She needed it for something. So if you text me, you get her. But hey, don't tell her. But I have the burner phone on my computer as well. So you can still text me, and I'll get it here. Let's see, spring 2023. I just got the pictures. Unfortunately, I lose all the names on my computer. So every saved name I've put into my phone, it just goes all back to phone numbers. So I can't share these, or else your phone number would get released right now. It would take a little bit of work to share it. But there's a whole line of tinfoil hats you can buy, apparently. Metallic bucket hats. Somebody else suggested that I use is this legit soundbite from the feed the other day. We work for Union Pacific, which is technically owned by the U.S. government. That's how. Okay, taking a quick look. Oh, the phone's back. She decided not to take it. I outed her. That's why. Let's take a look here. Our military refueling plane is still out working over the ocean, but you can see definitely the flights are starting to return from, Charleston, Myrtle Beach, Wilmington. We've got planes up in the air all over. A little Coast Guard happening right here, I think. Let's see. Yeah, that's the U.S. Coast Guard helicopter, Eurocopter MH-65D Dolphin. Okay. Things are slowly returning to normal there on the East Coast. Shake weight 2.0. What was that? I felt like the balloons are some sort of experiment or a trial run. Yeah, I don't think we should allow the next one to have the same freedom the first one had. It was no weather balloon for sure. OSHA just adds regulations. They came through and they yelled at us every time we use an extension cord. They're like, no, you need to hardwire that. It's like, but we only use it for a day a year. Now my phone's gone again. Mrs. R.A. has made up her mind and she stole the phone. We have a steel mill near us. They had 4 deaths in a day. Oh my goodness. That's a lot. That's a big accident. Laura says she said she was getting her colored pens to start making charts. That was about 11 p.m. She's making some timelines, right? She wants her tinfoil hat. No, she told me. She actually, I wore the tinfoil hat against her recommendation, which I normally don't do because she's a very wise woman. She said, if you wear that tinfoil hat, someone's going to screenshot that and it's going to live forever on the internet. And next thing you know, I get a text from Josh with a picture of me wearing a tinfoil hat. And I know that I'm not the only person he sent it to. So she was right once again. But Thal, thanks for the chat. If you're a spouse of a veteran who never claimed disability, you're entitled to DCI monthly money with the VA. It's around $1,500, I think. That's awesome, Thal. I appreciate you spreading the good news about that. Yeah, if you served, you may have benefits that are due to you. I truly appreciate and love Amber. This is Amber. This is her other name. Tireless efforts to get us all informed. She does such a good job, and I don't know how. There are a few of you out there, and you guys know who are true document hounds, and you can sniff out paperwork in a mess of internet, websites to find the source, and you guys dig up the most amazing stuff as soon as it becomes available. You guys are awesome that way, and thank you so much for keeping me in the loop with the burner phone that way. Would sky blue be a better color for a spy balloon? Yes, I think it would, especially if it's flying above the cloud level. 60,000 feet, that's way up there. So I think sky blue would have been a much better choice. Let's see why would China deny the balloon if it's so obvious? If it's obvious, well, Cachette, I'm not sure if they can deny it now. They've already said it was just a civilian's balloon that got lost, type thing. The balloon landed in the ocean off the coast of Myrtle Beach, probably about 10 miles offshore. Joseph, thanks for being an addict. We appreciate you joining. We have fun here every Monday, or every weekday. We go live at 9 a.m. here. I'm from Eastern North Carolina, so it starts at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And we mostly follow true crime and occasionally some other random stuff that pops up, some police chases now and then, but mostly just true crime court cases. Thank you for the info. My husband just got 80% disability. Finally, says Miss Chris. That's awesome, Miss Chris. Excited for that. We'll see you, Samantha. We're going to wrap things up here. I've got to leave here in just a minute as well. I've got some family time going on. What happened to the totally not for spying balloon? I've been working all day. Katrina, we shot it down. Got over the ocean, we shot it down. We waited until it had finished all its spying and had sent all its pictures back to China, and then we shot it down over the ocean. And they were trying to retrieve it right now, I believe. We're nosy. Yes, we are. Don't look, Ethel. It was too late. She'd already been mooned. I'm first responder status, which means if I die a hero, and that's it. OSHA gives 0 of anything. Man. Sky blue material costs extra. This was the base model of spy balloon. When you buy your spy balloons, you can get several different upgrades, and camouflage, or sky blue, as we know it as, is a premium charge. Also remember, he has migraines that can make him lie down for more than 4 hours at a time, more than 3 times a month. That's another 50%. Man, Nana Geek, thanks for being here. It was fun to jump on here just for a minute. Where's Tag? I don't know. Tag might be busy. She occasionally has real work to do. I have to wonder if the balloon parts were stamped made in China. Or made in the U.S. Maybe they buy their good stuff from us. Joseph Bias said, I just noticed you were talking to someone on Twitter that had my exact name. Was it you, Joseph? And if so, thank you for letting me steal your Twitter feed just for a moment. Your tinfoil hair will be on my homepage. I've got to get you a better picture than that. That's no good. And now I have tinfoil hat hair right now, mostly from the Pam spray that's still there in the hair. It doesn't evaporate like I thought it would. Take care, Cass. Thanks for being here. All right, we're gonna let's see. I think we have to end with the spooky music like we began with, because it's just a little bit different. Let's see. Let's pause. Go back. Wait. That's the cackle. That's not it. Where's my sound on 3? There we go. Okay. There it is. All right, you guys, you saw it here. The balloon got shot out of the sky by the U.S. military. Once again, takes a win after several days of L's for letting this spy balloon travel willy-nilly across the country without any ramifications. But Tag says, I'm here. Tag, we were just talking about you. I don't remember what it was, but it was all good things. Glad to have you here. Don't use Pam, it will cook your brain. Well, I was trying to prevent my brain from being cooked. I thought it would cook the tinfoil and not me. That was the idea. You guys, my quotes. That's awesome. It is a little spooky music. Y'all have a great rest of the day. See you Monday. We can call you Slick. You can call me a bunch of things after today. I'll wear the hat one more time just for those of you that missed it. So get your screenshots ready now. And it fits like a glove too. I mean, it's so cozy. And see there in back? Well, I guess it's actually a little embarrassed. It's not quite level in back. I'll have to reshape that a little. But I'll go to work on the hat now that the threat is over. It is 5G approved. I'm not sure if I told you yesterday, I got in the mail, Metronet sent me a letter and said, guess what? We're building fiber in your area. Please sign up now. Little do they know, I've already signed up. I've already paid them for my first month of service, and they have not even built it in the area. I want to be first when it comes. Hopefully this will solve all our internet problems, and owning the internet will not be a problem again.
Dr. Chambliss, would you like to...
Oh, man, there's the cackle. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good one. Please hug the people you love. You never know when we're going to get zapped by an alien balloon, and we won't be here much longer. Smile at somebody, make their day better. Wear a tinfoil hat, make them smile as well. And please stay safe till we go live again, which will be Monday morning, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Yep, we're going to do it. And it's going to be exciting. There's a lawsuit for sure. Thank you all. Have a great weekend. Hope you're already having a good one. We'll see you on Monday. Thanks.